live.
Yay!
Oh, yes, and exactly as I said, we've got an off-center logo.
Well, is it off-center, or does it just like the edges of?
Yeah, I'm trying to line it
look
up there. Yeah, so let's just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks better. And I tried to center that. Yeah, I used those lights behind us to center the camera.
Yeah,
so.
I can look horribly short compared to you.
I've been growing.
You finally hit your growth spurt.
Yes. So how are things with you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Any gaming news? Oh, we've set a date, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So December 17th. So in Japan time, December 17th, Saturday, we're gonna do our giant Kit Bash live stream. So and I think, do you have any of those turntables? Any of those little? Okay, so I'll bring a couple of those, and we'll set those up with green screens.
Okay.
So everything that we finish, we can put, and it'll sit and spin on
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that with some unboxing, and it worked really well because I could just take out the most interesting miniature and put it in the corner and have something.
Oh, that's cool. No, I have visual. Okay, it's not the 100 yen store, but it's kind of like the 300 yen store. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I got a decent sized little collapsible light box that just permanently folded up, or not folded up, unfolded up, and that's when not unfolded up's not a word. Anyway, set up. There you go, set up. And that's how I take pictures of my miniature until my camera died,
that's right. That's right.
But I went back to look to see if they had a cheap little turntable, because I think I can get them from Volks or one of the hobby store, but I don't want to pay a lot for it.
They get pricey. Yeah, they get really pricey.
Especially down at the Volks store, but I haven't found one, so it's cool that you have some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you say giant Kit Bash, I can't help but think of just slopping glue on your hands and putting all the pieces together. It's
yes,
this,
right.
giant
We'll just
ball of stuff. Yeah.
A big katamari. Nice. All right. Cool. So, so I tried to minimize the Hasbro talk. There's a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of it. But we had enough.
It's inescapable.
Yeah, that's true.
I like
it. Just keeps screwing up.
It does. So my Twitter hiatus is over. Hiatus in suspension, ridiculous.
Oh,
anyway,
right,
so I was more active in Discord and a couple of the miniature things, and just like you kind of can't escape GW in miniatures talk, I kind of likened it to Hasbro and D&D, the TTRPG spheres, right?
Right.
Somehow this always comes up. So, yeah.
Yeah, and they're starting to report some numbers on their playtest, all the 1D&D playtest stuff. And everything, surprisingly, is rating, 80% or above, absolutely wonderful. We love it so much. I mean, they can't do wrong. Essentially, they're saying they can't do wrong. So we're happy to see that.
Isn't that what happened with 5e?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, they got a bunch of positive, and then... Yeah, so we'll see. But they they can't report anything negative right now with what they've got going on with Magic, so they just have to
separate the two.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there was some talk, I think it was last year or so, one of the shareholders was saying spin off WotC, make it a separate company. They were saying it's,
from Hasbro?
It's so different in what it's doing, and it's so successful, and the Hasbro, the board game thing is dragging it down. So somebody was trying to start that wanted to start that thinking happening, but I can't imagine if that happened now. WotC would be in big trouble if they were just their own thing, because they're not making anybody very happy right now.
I'm trying to remember the Wizards of the Coast. I'm trying to remember where Magic was first. Isn't that where Magic was first?
Yes,
Magic,
it was born.
Wizards of the Coast had Magic, and TSR had D&D, right? And then they kind of anyway.
Yeah, I can't finish the end of it. It's just so ugly. The death of TSR is just so ugly, that Slaying the Dragon book. So I'm in the last chapter of it, and just this is brutal. So
find anything else to do.
Anything but finish this book. But they're talking about the Five Rings, the company that published the Five Rings, almost they made the play to buy TSR because the owner, the woman that owned TSR, refused to sell to WotC. She's like, no, really? I don't like that guy. He's not going to have this company. So she refused, even though they were in a horrible financial situation.
Well, hey, standards.
And but then they made the deal with the Five Rings guys, and then the Five Rings guys turned it into, well, actually, WotC's going to buy both of us.
Oh.
So it was a little slimy.
We've got you, and guess what?
She ended up selling to someone that she absolutely didn't want to. But, sometimes in business, though, you got to get your emotions out of it, what's best for the company, the employees and stuff.
I suppose. there's emotions, and then there's like selling to fascists or something.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sorry. That kind of came out not wrong. Like I wasn't saying like
those Seattle fascists.
Yeah, I wasn't saying like that. It was more of a general thing. Like
Right.
they're selling to someone you don't like,
Right,
and then
right.
they're selling to someone you know will kind of like be harmful or something. And so yeah, in one sense, you're just like, okay, I don't like you, but whatever. On the other hand, you're just like, no, you're yeah. That came out wrong, but people know what I'm talking about. Hopefully.
Yes. We have subtitles on this.
Okay, good. I can only imagine what they look like.
Yeah, so that was it's a funny thing that history is I mean, the point that the author tries to make is, thank goodness Wizards of the Coast, because the owner of Wizards of the Coast, was a longtime D&D fan and lover, and like when they took it over, it was just so magical for him as a kid in a candy store, looking at all the original art and it's just like, this is amazing. These people are my heroes, and now I own them. I mean, in the ugliest way possible. Right. But so they tried to put the best possible face on it, but yeah, I still can't get all that excited about it.
I'm kind of coming around to the opinion that people who are like mega fans or super fans of something shouldn't be in charge of it or own it.
I think the Japanese anime industry would definitely speak to that, because it's like a third generation now of people that like were hardcore otaku that will work on anime for no money, live with their parents forever, just to be involved in.
Like I know that's kind of what happens,
Yeah,
and like that's kind of the
well, maybe they
industry.
wouldn't if
Yeah.
But no, but you can tell in some of the thinking and the news stories and stuff, it's getting kind of so incestuous, like fans of fans,
Literally,
and so
or like figuratively.
figuratively, like creatively incestuous, where it's just like people regurgitating the same formulas and everything. And Japanese pop culture is always a little bit like that, but anime is just like, oh come on, something a little bit original would be wonderful.
Why?
Yes. So hey, Abyss, how's it going?
Yay!
All right. Yes, the collective hive mind. Oh yeah, Abyss said they got notification about the backer kit for the Elric. So the Elric PDF, we might actually see the
cool.
RPG. Yeah,
cool.
The board game said something. So, did you? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Did you pledge Turnip?
I did.
Yes.
And I missed like the early bird special by like minutes because I was like, okay, log in, wrong password. Log in, wrong password. Log in, wrong password. They're all gone. Oh, mother.
I hate that. Yeah. That really sucks. You'd like to, especially if you know about it, like
I did
in the first day, and then it's like, I can't.
It's one of those things like time zones actually worked out where I was just like sending an email for something else and like boop, notification, it's live. Let's go there. Right? And just like, I sold out already.
Yeah. So maybe I should do the digital half. If you're gonna, are you doing physical or digital?
I did the combo.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's
so
cool.
Just like wasn't in time for the early bird, which is fine because I was only the digital. So
okay.
I ended up doing the digital plus physical just for the 20 models.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that during the cast, and I hope that goes well because they're kind of creating a lot of work for themselves, and this being their first Kickstarter. So we'll talk about that later. I don't blow anything yet. Let's see. All right. Well, we may as well get going here. All right. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Magic's 30th anniversary sale lasts 1 hour.
Wow. Okay.
But we don't know the reason yet.
Okay.
The Great Heathen Army.
That's not the Amon Amarth American tour, because that's something else I'm interested in.
Yep, that's it. I know you. Turnip28 on Kickstarter, and Bladerunner gets a retail release date.
Oh, cool.
So we'll start with the ugliness. So there's a lot of
That could be Turnip. But I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
all right.
that's
anyway.
right. Turnip's got some ugliness. So the Magic 30th anniversary edition sale just mysteriously ends, and they post something on Twitter to try to explain this, but it doesn't seem to. They don't say sold out.
Okay.
So they just thank everybody and say, we're all done here. So the 30th anniversary sale has concluded, and the product is currently unavailable for purchase. Thank you to everyone who joined us. And they also put a link, which is a little bit strange too. Please reach out to our customer service if you believe you're experiencing an issue with your purchase.
Okay, so for those of us who are not in the know, what was on sale?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this was the
Ridiculously
most
expensive?
the most
Okay.
expensive. This is the super expensive proxies. So this is the 30th edition box, priced at $999.
Right.
And so a lot of the community has been really off put by this. They got
Because it's only 4 packs.
yes, and you're they're not even guaranteed the randomized packs. You're not guaranteed to even get a Black Lotus or anything that you would love to have a copy of.
Sorry. It's not even real in the sense that, yes, it is physical, but it's not tournament legal,
Mm-hmm,
right? So it's like you said, it's a proxy. Why?
Right.
Anyway.
Yes. So 4 booster packs for $1,000, and what's included in this is cards on the reserve list. And so the reserve list is a list of cards that Wizards of the Coast has promised never to reprint, so that the original prints of these hold their value.
Maybe sorry to interrupt. Maybe that's why they're counting them as proxies.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like,
right,
whoa,
right. Yes.
it's not official, so we didn't reprint
Yeah.
them, so they're still on the reserve list.
And
I
they've
don't know.
they've previously done this before. So yeah, all of these cards are non-tournament legal proxy cards with very specific backs that show the 30th anniversary, and you have very low odds of even cracking a Power 9 card within 4 of those boosters. So a lot of people like Moist Critical in the Magic community said, "Not cool." Thank you, Moist.
That sums it up pretty well. Yep. That's pretty good.
So and we had the last week we were talking about the Bank of America analyst saying this was a big misstep. This looks so greedy, and people often when I'm reading these articles in the comments, people just post the greed card for Magic. I think it's black, and
it's
too
not a-
too life to draw a card. So greed. So yeah, it's the other strange thing though related to this is they sent out packs of this to influencers, but not Magic the Gathering influencers, the Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube creators. So that sent the message that, okay, I think we've milked the Magic crowd as much as possible. Let's try to grow this community a little bit and show them the best thing that we've got. And so, they so paid sponsorship. So they sent these packs and paid them to open them, and so kind of a sleazy technique, because they're not supporting the community. They're going outside of the Magic community to get people with big followings that are supporting other card games to do paid sponsorship for this insanely overpriced card game.
Product aside, and how ridiculously expensive it is, can you really fault them for doing that? Can you,
We're trying to grow,
it's
trying to grow them.
advertising, right? Here are these people who do something similar but a little bit different. Why not?
Yeah,
So,
right. If they've got numbers, why not raise the awareness? Yeah, right. So the Yu-Gi-Oh creator that did the unboxing was not aware of the product and its outrageous price point. So this led to Ruxin34 creating a video titled "I Made a Huge Mistake," in which he apologizes for promoting the product and said it's most likely a scam, like his opinion.
Right.
And
that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, so it's not. They've just been making a lot of mistakes in how they're promoting things anymore, and or just recently. And so this is celebrating a 30th. So we may see some further missteps with the 50th that we've got coming up with Dungeons and Dragons. We have,
Magic,
in 20 years.
20 years out, bro.
So we'll be here.
We probably will.
So they've also got another anniversary, coming up next year. Right. So we'll see how they mishandle kind of promoting this and what kind of debacle that documentary is going to be. It's just going to be a 2-hour long commercial for.
I wonder if like a 50th anniversary commercial for D&D would end up being them paying Critical Role to play D&D one.
Oh yeah, right. Well, that's coming. We're definitely going to see the celebrity packed because I think they've. Critical Role has kind of, because they've been able to make money and turn it into a company, they've raised the bar, and now everyone that's got connections to Hollywood that can get agents on the phone and say, will you get this person to play Dungeons and Dragons?
Not to talk about Critical Role, I also think it doesn't matter. No, not really. I was going to say it doesn't really matter what they're playing, as long as it's that cast playing their wacky characters and stuff. But I don't know, because they're like one shots or their little side things. I don't think draw the viewers ship of their normal.
Right. Yeah, because there's just a huge fan art and people that I'm sure people that are shipping some characters in the campaign.
Maybe if they did like they're like, okay, it's season 4 and we're playing this setting, right? That's like something completely different, and then they're using a different rule set. I think that would have the same if it was like, this is the main season, right? Instead of like a little one-off or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah. So I wonder, because it seems like they found a really good combination, because I'm sure the people that are, they may be making enough money for Critical Role that they're not so focused on voice acting work and stuff, but it helped those voice actors in their profile. Like, people now, they like those people, then they're looking for, what characters are they doing? I'll watch the animation that they're doing characters on. And it's a very interesting combination of things that made their success so successful.
That's right.
One more quick. This was one of those last minute things that I'm like, oh, come on. Like last night it shows up, and it would be worth talking about as its own thing. But I also want to mention, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons and their 50th coming up, D&D 1 just said they will no longer be using the word race in their play materials.
So they're only like, late to the party. I guess late is better than never, but it's like, bro, you're the last ones to do it.
So what's your guess? What are they replacing it with? So we know Paizo is using Ancestry.
Okay.
And the Dragonbane PDF just came out. The beta came out. Right. They're using Kin, which is I love that choice. And what do you think they went with?
Maybe Ancestry or... Your silence kind of says...
Paizo's got Ancestry. So
they do.
Yeah, so they probably won't do anything someone's done before.
You know what? I would be okay if they went Species.
You got it. Yep, that's it. You got it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they went Species. And the sciencey, the science-ness of that word, and kind of the weird... that kind of takes you out of a fantasy setting when you're saying species a little bit, for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Phylum
Phylum Kingdom, yeah.
Right.
Well, it does also... Okay, since we're talking sciencey, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, when magic is in whatever setting, science is fucking out. It doesn't fucking matter, right? But like species... Okay, generally species are distinct when they cannot interbreed. So if you have like half elves and half dwarves and stuff, you're all technically the same species.
Yeah, right. Yes, I wonder how, if they're going to deal. So if they are using species, I wonder how they're going to deal with that. Yeah, we did a video years ago, probably like 5 years ago now, just talking about. I think it was when Paizo switched, when Paizo's second edition switched to Ancestry. We just talked about those words. Kin has always been my favorite. I think that's works very fantasy, and it's very. It does. Yeah.
I think I went. Crap. I forgot. It's been so long. I think I went either heritage or lineage in
Brighthammer. Both of those are really good.
Because I didn't. Anyway, it's some of them mean kind of like only blood or genetics, and some of them also include like culture, and you got to think about which one is which, and if you're okay with those kind of mixing, and what it says about if you can learn these skills versus if you can't.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true. There's a lot there, and I do like it when it like you can adopt a dwarven child into a human community, and they will learn the skills of humans. So there's nothing like racially specific that they're going to.
You don't get like sailing as a fucking genetically hard-coded trait, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So so that I'm sure more will come out about that. So that just came out, so we'll see the reaction that the community has to that, and how meaningless or I just thought species that's just ugly. That's just not a good. You can tell there's nobody with poetry in their blood writing for D&D. All right. So the announcement for a new epic graphic novel and board game to support the Great Heathen Army.
So, I actually didn't know this was a board game.
Yeah, it's a board game as well. That's why. Yeah, that's why I got to talk about this. So blabbermouth.net is reporting that Z2 has announced that the Amon Amarth Great Heathen Army will be a graphic novel and a board game in collaboration with the Heavy Metal Quintet's latest album. So these guys have been at it for a while. Yeah. They're the
and that they never come to Japan. Thanks a lot.
Really? Oh,
yeah, I would go in like a hot second, and like I think that's why I missed it, because it's always like Amon Amarth on tour, all these dates, and I'm like, come to Japan. So I just like half-heartedly scroll. Oh yeah, when were you in Philly? Oh, yeah, I could have fucking timed that. All right, and then that's why I missed this, because I'm just like, nope, scroll past. Got the email, but yeah. Anyway.
So that's rough. So the Great Heathen Army will unspool throughout a 9th century battle siege in which a coalition of Viking warriors from Scandinavia invades England. So Vikings versus the Anglo-Saxon, and that's basically the board game as well. Is it will have that theme. So it's going to be a deck building war game where you assume either the role of the Vikings or the Anglo-Saxon.
I want to play Anglo-Saxon. Sorry.
Right. So attacker versus defender, and each side has their own strategies for repelling or attack, and hours-long campaigns. They're saying so. Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see it. And they had some images from the cover of the graphic novel and some of the board game.
I'm going to have to go look at this because my feeling is if it's just kind of standard fantasy or even kind of like more historically skewing stuff, I'm like, oh, why aren't you teaming up with Amon Amarth then?
Yeah.
Right? Like, give me, and I don't know if this is the route they're going, like, give me the, like, guitar wielding as axes Vikings, right? Like, like, fantasy it up. Otherwise, why is it like a heavy metal? Like
interesting.
I don't know if that's what it is. That's what I would want to see, right? Kind of like the Ragnarok, like ROCK at the end, right? Anyway.
Nice, but so they the quote from the website talking about the graphic novel is "Raise your mead horns to Valhalla, Saxons beware, because the mighty Amon Amarth is releasing a new graphic novel." So it's all coming out. Since 1992.
Yeah, they've been at it for a long time, and I actually can't listen to the earlier stuff. It's just
really?
Like, like, I can listen to like a lot of heavy metal stuff. Like, if I feel like there's enough kind of music behind it, if I can go like, wow, okay, I can hear like the kind of technical skills to do this. Like even with like the voice, where it sounds like you fucking wrecked your throat, right? Like earlier stuff, I'm like, this is noise. This is noise, right? Sorry, like from like Wrath of the Thunder God, like that's from about where I can start, which is like their fourth studio album, somewhere around there. Anyway, yeah.
Wow. So so 30 years of reaving hooks with concept albums about seaward ravagers clashing with swelling armies and the generals who continually grind the cogs of war.
Yep. And the kind of protagonist in the story usually dies at the end. in the last song.
Right. Nice. So I'll put a link to the Z Comics website so you can take a look at some of those images. Oh yeah, here you can probably see it on the monitor. So there's some of the stuff that they're doing. So it's decent looking.
Yeah.
What they're producing looks nice. So that should be fun. And it's a funny way to kind of promote and kind of wrap, especially, a concept album, okay, and then a comic, graphic novel and a game. That's a lot of concept. There's a lot going on there.
Dripping with concept.
So, I'll put a link to that, so take a look at that. If you're a Viking fan or a metal fan or a Viking metal fan or a board game fan.
Viking metal board game fan. That's a market that hasn't been tapped yet.
Right.
Why haven't I?
All right, but one market that has been tapped is the Napoleonic
root.
Yeah, right. Tap row.
See, I can do puns too.
There we go. There is a new Kickstarter for Turnip28, the Forlorn Hope. So what is Turnip28? So from the Kickstarter, it says Turnip28 is a post-apocalyptic vegetable war game. So players command regiments of fantastic miniatures made up of incompetent snobs, bedraggled followers, bizarre war machines. You will weep.
We got a delivery, but it's not for us.
No, it's not us. They're doing some checking. Sorry. I guess I have to cut that out.
Yeah.
I think they're doing smoke detectors in the building. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
If you watch live.
Yeah, right. If you watch live. Forlorn Hope is the first core miniatures release from Turnip28. And they will provide a set of multi-purpose 3D printable infantry miniatures for new and existing and returning gamers. So the whole concept. So talk a little bit about. So you kind of
forgot
found
the most important part of Turnip28.
Oh yes.
You will cheer as deranged peasants kick each other to death in the mud. If that sounds appealing to you. Go. Like, if you want, like, heroic miniatures, like fighting the good fight, like, no, not Turnip28. Turnip28 is, like, these people are, it's called Forlorn Hope, right? You're, slogging through mud and picking leeches off your musket as, it's not happy, bright, or nice, right?
Nice.
It's kind of silly. So, like, Turnip28 is the brainchild of Max Fitzgerald, I believe. And it's a vegetable apocalypse. Like, supposedly, technology kind of stagnated around Napoleonic Age as this invasive root just kind of chewed up basically the world. Like, we don't know what's happened outside of a kind of Central Europe location. It's kind of like European based, but it's been like 1,000 years later, and this parasitic root has just choked all the life out of everything except people. So there's like no more animals. There's just these kind of weird ambulatory root things that take on the semblance of the animals they've choked out. And yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why it's like, it's future, but it's Napoleonic era. That's why you have like black powder muskets and crossbow wielding people and basically anything you can come up with. So most of the miniatures are put together with like the historic miniatures, which are slightly smaller than the heroic GW scale stuff. So I'm not sure what size these are. Like the Kickstarter, and I'm part of the Discord, the Kickstarter and creator said that these are appropriate for like any size of 28 millimeter hero or 28 millimeter figures.
Right.
But they also come as like full figures.
Okay.
Like, so there's individual heads, individual torsos and legs, and individual arms that you can combine in various different ways to make kind of basic infantry unit, which is called fodder, and you need 12 of them per unit.
Oh, okay.
The thing about Turnip is it's not a points-based system. It's a snob-based system. Like snobs are your leaders, and your regiment usually composes of 3 snobs. Each snob has a follower unit, and kind of the general of your army gets an extra unit. So you say, okay, we're playing a 3 snob game, which means I'm going to show up with my 3 leaders and their 4 units, or 4 or 5 or 2 snobs and their accompanying unit. So that's how you balance things, right?
Oh, cool.
You can pick between any of the like 4 units, and this Kickstarter is only for infantry. There are 2 cavalry units, and there's an artillery unit that you can take. There's also kind of like factions that are called cults. That's kind of slightly more advanced because they alter the way your army is composed and kind of how the game plays. And they kind of have like extra special units. Like I think as part of this Kickstarter, version 17 or version like 1.7 of the rules is coming out, and one of the new cults that's coming is called like March of the Proboscis, which is one of your units is a fucking elephant.
Oh, nice.
Right? And it like gives you a base size, like, so there's no models for like this giant elephant.
Right.
This is only kind of the core infantry. And I think the Kickstarter stretch goals give you shooting arms and melee close combat arms.
Okay.
And as well as maybe some running legs. And that would cover all 4 of kind of the basic infantry units with this set.
That's cool. Nice. Oh yeah. Version 17. Yeah, version 17. So the rules. So this is coincide with a rules update, and also the rules are available for free, right, on their Patreon. Yeah. So I'll put a link.
You don't even have to be a patron supporter.
Yeah. So just
like just go and download the rules.
Nice. And if you enjoy it, you should definitely support them. But yeah, so a lot of stretch goals are adding a lot of things, and so they're doing something that's so both physical and digital, and also combined. You can get both as well.
That's what I backed at, just because I think, okay, it's a little bit tricky because if you go digital only, I believe the stretch goals of shooting arms and close combat arms are currently STL only.
Okay.
They might be working on something where you get physical as well, but
they've kind of separated that.
The physical only, you wouldn't get the stretch goals, right? You would only get these marching poses for kind of like your basic infantry. But if you get what I'm doing, the combined one, then you've got everything. You would just have to print the extra pieces yourself.
Right. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so this is their first Kickstarter, so I hope it goes well. I hope they don't have any trouble with fulfillment, because I read that they're fulfilling from both the U.S. and Scandinavia. One of their printers, I think, was in Denmark or someplace. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. UK. Sorry, UK and Denmark. Yeah, that's right. So, I hope that they're able to reach everywhere, like places like Japan. That can't be easy to deal with.
They gave estimates of the shipping costs, but the creator was real clear about that might change, and these are just estimates. So.
Right. Yeah. So I hope this goes well. I mean, this is a great idea and
I think it was fun to do in 5 minutes.
Yeah. nice. Yeah. So it's got popularity. So they've got a pretty busy Discord, and I think they've got a Facebook group. There's like
is there?
Yeah,
okay, I'm kind of off Facebook. Yeah, the Patreon's pretty active. The Discord is pretty active. That's one of the ones I'm in, and yeah, like I think what happened is like this term's been around for like 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like kind of like a really active, nice Discord community. So
great.
That's kind of why this started. I think they're almost up to like 30K now.
Oh, right.
And they were asking like 3.
Wow.
3,000.
Wow,
so
that's great. Yeah.
That's within like 24 hours.
Oh,
so hopefully
good.
there's no like fulfillment problems, because that could really sour some people.
Right. But I think hopefully the supportive community, they'll, I mean, if they're not just kind of, stumbling into this and you don't know, but you've been supporting the game for a while, I think you'll be patient and, hope that they get everything going. But that's great.
We've been seeing teasers of the 3D printed models for a while now, and they look really cool.
Oh, good.
I guess one of the key conceits of Turnip is helmets on, visors down.
Ah.
Generally speaking, like people do like weird decayed flesh color stuff, but it's like it kind of adds to the mystery and kind of like body horror. You're like, what is underneath that helmet, bro? I don't want to know. Don't want to know. So like all of the heads that are coming are visors down, or like those weird wicker beekeeper masks.
Oh yeah.
Like, looks like a front of a basket. That's just real
cool.
creepy. So yeah.
Nice.
There's been some great, I guess, promo images of people have gotten the models and painted them, and some of them are painted incredibly nicely. They are nowhere near dirty enough.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Where's all the fucking mud and grass and shit coming off this guy, right? Like that is the cleanest looking armor I have ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to dirty up their paint jobs. They work so hard.
Then it's not Turnip. You're playing something else.
Right. Nice. So and on the Kickstarter they specify like what's included with physical, what's included with digital, and then you can see all the stretch goals that we'll be adding things as well. Right. So so take a look if you're interested at all. It's definitely a really great concept. So, and there's been a lot of Napoleonic, there's that's influenced a lot of people that want to do black powder gaming, but they don't want to do historical. So kind of
that's why I was kind of interested in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it looks cool. You can use these Napoleonic figures, but you're not actually recreating any war, and you don't have all the baggage and stuff that kind of comes along with it.
Right.
Yeah. And you just like head swap miniatures and do all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh, that's good.
I've been getting way too many little gachapon toys.
Oh no.
The latest was a tortoise.
Uh-huh.
That's going to become like I'm going to put a howdah on it.
Oh,
like these, because one of the cults is called the Knights of Shelwood. Where it's these guys that ride snails. And I'm like, okay, well, there's no reason it has to be a snail. There's some other kind of slow animal, because if you take them, their movement score becomes 0. Right? Like, that's the deal with these people. Like, that's why I said kind of at the beginning, like, if you want, like, an effective army that we kind of, like, power game this, no. Go play something else.
Oh, good. So it's kind of very narrative and very, kind of, well, that's great.
Yeah. It's kind of like old GW where like you're rolling on this table to find out how badly you fucked something up, right? So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's good that there are companies and designers that are filling the holes, and once something becomes a corporation and they're worried about shareholders and keeping people happy and profits, they're going to go away from a lot of the fun of what just to make sure that they're selling. And so it's good that we now have 3D printing and the ability for designers to fill those.
Napoleonic stuff is not that expensive. I mean, like I've kind of dumped a lot into it just from like shipping and getting so much stuff, but like a box of 48 soldiers is like 20, 25, $30.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So that's an entire regiment right there. If you're creative with your green stuff skills.
Oh, very cool. Nice. Okay, so we'll put a link. We'll put a link to that, and you can tell. Yeah, you can tell Chris.
Sorry, don't get me started talking about something I'm into.
Right.
I will not shut up.
I tried to pack this week with Viking Metal and Turnip28. Yep. All right, and our last thing we wanted to mention is that Free League has announced the date. So December 13th is the official release of the Blade Runner roleplay game.
Cool.
So people in the U.S. are starting to get their packages from the Kickstarter. I hope I actually get mine before the release of the retails. That's always a squeaker. So
when did that Kickstarter end?
It's been like last year, I think. Okay. Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah,
so it's been a bit, and Free League has been kind of getting bogged down. A couple of their things are they've got a queue now going of things that people are waiting for. But people have been getting this, so the packages are going out, but each distribution is different and everything. And I think we're getting ours sent from somewhere not very fast.
Right.
But so this will be a core rule book as well as the starter set.
Oh, cool.
The starter set has that first case file, so the actual play is based on that starter set first case file, and I think there's a set of dice in there and a ton of physical handouts, photos. I mean, so much that all the Esper footage is a glossy photo that you can take a look at with a magnifying glass to figure out what might be relevant to the case. Yeah, they did a really nice job with that. And so I would encourage, if they have any bundles, to take a look during this retail release. Those usually sell out, or they stop selling those and they break things off separately, and it gets really expensive if you buy dice and the everything separately. It starts to really add up. And they also mentioned in this announcement that they will be supporting the game into 2023. So there's supposedly 2 more case files to support this the storyline that they're going with. Which is good, which is really, really playable and really good so far. So you can see the first 3 episodes of that on this channel as actual play. Nice. And I use all of the art, the Martin Grip art and things from the PDF. So you get a real good feel for the world that they were making. So yeah, put a link to the Blade Runner website where you can pre-order. Yeah, and keep an eye out for the bundles. Free League usually is really good. If you want to get everything except for like the limited edition, like Kickstarter exclusive rulebook, everything is usually available in a bundle, and you save a bit, and also on shipping instead of buying them separately. But the setting of it is 2037, so it takes place like almost exactly between the 2 movies. So things haven't gotten as bad as 2049, and they're a little bit different.
Oh, you meant setting wise, not story wise.
Oh yeah, right.
Sorry, I had to get that little jab.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the setting is, and it's interesting that they fleshed out a lot of things that are kind of interesting, the politics and stuff. I did on the first episode of the actual play, I just do kind of a get you up to speed thing with some like a little slideshow of stuff. So if you want to kind of get an idea of like where this Wallace Corporation came from, what happened to the original creators of the Nexus replicants and things, they really give you some interesting things to play around with. And I think that's what they're doing in these case files, is they're giving you a lot of hooks to kind of pursue different things, because this is not really like the internet really didn't work out very well. So there's still print magazines and newspapers and things. And so there's not, there's not social media. It's still this like, it's, face-to-face, word of mouth kind of things. So much less digital, much more on the ground, like lower tech. So,
that's cool.
When people talk about, this being cyberpunk, it's not, there's nothing cyber about it really. The setting is more like a tech noir. Yeah, it's more like a noir detective story.
Yeah.
And of course, you're all playing Blade Runners. There's a lot of variation in the type of Blade Runner you can play.
That's cool.
But you're all investigators.
I always kind of wonder about games where you're like all playing the same thing. Like, okay, is there going to be enough difference between the different characters?
Yeah, they really did a good job, because in this time, or in this part of the setting, they have released the Nexus 9 models, and they specifically are supporting the LAPD. So there are replicant Blade Runners. So that adds a really weird twist, because those replicant Blade Runners keep having their loyalty kind of, why are you doing this? Why are you supporting either this corporation or because there are the previous models are still in hiding on on Earth and stuff. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff to dig into, a lot more than you would think just from watching the movies. You're like, okay, but yeah, they really fleshed it out in an interesting way, and it's Year Zero engine, but closer to what they did with the Twilight 2000. So you're rolling not just D6s, but different. The dice kind of scale up depending on your rating. So you have a rating for something, and that determines what die you roll.
Right.
And it's a skill plus a stat. Okay. And but it really works well. And I'm surprised, when I first read the rule book, I didn't think there was enough there. But then playing it, like, it might just be the players that are doing such a good job of like really digging into these characters. But there's a lot of morality, a lot of tension, because as investigators, you get to decide how straight you want to play it. If you report everything you find to the LAPD database, basically, or if you just keep things, you just keep things to yourself, and that can actually generate XP, like their version of XP. So it's very interesting tension in the game. All right, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll put a link. So that's it for this week. So
Yeah.
where can people find you?
On Twitter, as always. Now that I've got over my week-long suspension.
Oh, so you're
Jesus.
thanking Elon for releasing your...
To be fair, there were problems before Musk fell and took over. But it just kind of exacerbated things, right? So I'm also quasi-active in the Turnip28, Necropolis28, and Brawl Arcane 28 Discord servers. They're pretty easy to find. Also on Instagram, where I post a lot of pictures of the Necropolis 28 board that I'm finally starting to make with the foam cutter you lent me. Thank you very much.
Nice.
I just can't bring myself to cut that giant sheet of foam I got from Tokyo Hands. I'm like,
yeah.
especially since I found a bunch of 2 centimeter thick stuff from the dollar store. I'm like, let's hack that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I'm going to go to the labor intensive route and cut bricks that I then glue onto a hollow foam core box.
That's
So,
cool. That looks
It
always
looks
good.
great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to take a long,
Yeah,
long time. Right? So you can follow the progress of that on Instagram. And yeah, that's it.
Excellent.
How about you?
And I'm still doing my single panel gag cartoon. It's all Christmas cartoons now,
Yeah.
but they're getting pretty dark, so don't worry. It's not.
I would expect nothing less.
it's pretty depressing. Yeah, the last one was handmade ornaments that the people that made them never come around for Christmas anymore.
Oof. And here I was just expecting something like eggnog with like the eggshells being kind of sad about
All
something,
right,
right?
that's next one.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch, and Abuse Cartoons on social media. If you want to read that cartoon, the 20-year history of it, the archives.
You're almost in Amon Amarth territory.
I know. I'm getting there. Yeah, we were inspired by different things. So you can go to gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And if you like what we're doing here with the weekly, you can go to Patreon and patreon.com/upturntable and become a weekling. Let us know what you want to see more of. If you don't want to hear about Hasbro ever again.
If you don't want people to interrupt our cast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we were almost swatted. I think that was the Japanese version of swatted. No, it's the...
No, because they didn't apologize.
Oh, that's right. Right. They would have...
Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, so upturntable.com is the website where we post everything. And if you are a subscriber and you were lucky enough to see the first of the Dark Advent calendar last night, so I'm reading the Insanity trilogy, the Apostle of Insanity trilogy, a chapter a night as an Advent calendar until Christmas.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And dark.
Yes, and dark. Yeah, so if you like your Christmases full of dark influence, check that out, and I'll build a playlist of that. So
cool.
I'm reading it like with effects on the voice and a little background music just as a live stream.
Right.
And so those won't be perfect, but while I'm doing that, I'm recording a clean version of it, so I'll be able to edit and do a more proper release of it. So this is just to enjoy during the Christmas season. Yeah, so keep an eye out for those. So yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, keep a look out on YouTube, and those will get posted both Twitch and YouTube. Nice. All right, so that's it for this week. We'll be doing the same thing next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. All right. All right. Yeah, I should have something else going on than me just frozen. But those 30 seconds are to clean up the audio. So so sorry about that interruption. I think the timing was just bad. They're checking the smoke detectors in the building. So I don't know why they didn't just open the door and then poke a head in, but there's pounding on the outside door. So we weren't swatted. You don't have to worry about don't have to worry about that. It was just a building maintenance thing that they do kind of irregularly, and we the date just happened to coincide with when we recorded. It's usually not on Fridays. All right. Yeah. So Chris did pledge the combo for Turnip28. So that's very cool. I can't wait to. I'm gonna take a look more at the website and definitely the Discord too. I think I'm in a Facebook group, but I think I'll take a look at the Discord and see what people are doing. So good to see you, Abyss. Yeah, that was really funny. I don't know why, because it's a glass door. It's a glass-fronted door. I don't know why the guy's pounding on the door so hard. I hope that's not too loud. I'll try to cut that out of both the audio. So you can only enjoy that on the replay of the live stream. Nice. Oh, I thought I saw... Yeah, Lil Will. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, very cool. Coming to say hi. Hope you enjoy y'all's time and enjoy the podcast. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so Will shows up on the Abuse Cartoons stream. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and so like I said, I'm doing that... I'll do recorded. It's about like 30 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes, depending on the length of the chapter. So every night I'll do a quick little live stream and read through that whole book. And it's fun. I haven't read it before, so we're kind of like discovering it together. So I hope it's not terrible as far as story, but already they're putting some interesting details in. If you like the Mutant Chronicles setting. Yeah, right. Yeah, garbage fungus, very Nurgle-esque. Yeah, I think if you liked old school Nurgle aesthetic from Games Workshop, you'll definitely like Turnip28. It's got a nice and like Chris was saying too, there's almost a body horror element to it because the soldiers could actually be just completely corrupted and taken over by this vegetable, and and everyone is a lowly foot soldier in a very ugly world. Oh yeah. This was saying the Blade Runner is a huge movie title. I hope they can keep it going for at least half a decade. I really hope that this game gets some good support because it's really fun to play, and the adventure was written. The case file that we're playing was written really well, and if there's time between releases of case files, they give you enough in those adventures that you can kind of play around with chasing different things. And there's also they give you some tables and some ideas for generating your own case files and things in the world, so you can go off of the what they've kind of prepared as the narrative and still be able to come back when the next case file is released. But it's fun, and if you like playing detectives and not Lovecraftian detectives, but more film noir, but future. It's really good, and they give you enough of the setting too that I wasn't, because the movies don't fill in enough holes. They just kind of suggest things. So the core rulebook setting helps you a lot to kind of figure out where you are with technology and how things work, and where you are, because some things went away or not done anymore, like the VK. Unless you're going to play specifically in 2019. They kind of once all of those Nexus 6 disappeared, once they all aged out and died with their little built-in lifespans, they had no use for the VK meters anymore. So there's some interesting things in the setting, technology they retired and stuff. So it's really fun, and even if you just enjoy Blade Runner, it's definitely worth taking a look at what they did with the setting, because especially Free League, they with the licensed IPs, they've done some really fun stuff. I mean, Alien had really deep lore, and as far as like explaining how the corporations are colonizing and taking over, and the tensions between them, and like who developed the colonial marines, and they did a nice job of fleshing stuff out that doesn't that works. It's not too outrageous, because remember, kind of 80s and 90s IP based RPGs. Would just kind of throw some crap out there, and it would just be kind of stuff that veered off so extremely that maybe it wasn't very useful. But they seem to be very thoughtful on the world building that they're doing, and also I think they're probably working directly with the IP holders, so they're getting approval and things. So they aren't going to do anything too outrageous. Yes, interlinked. Abyss says yes. And so that was one of the things I needed to come up with a better script when we were playing it. I'll work on something like that, but coming up with a good script for that the humanity test, or the baseline test that replicants, Nexus 9 replicants have to do, like in 2049. Nice. That's right. So Chris is back in the trenches on Twitter, fighting the good fight against all the Nazis and white nationalists. That's right. Yeah. We've got, I guess, no more Kanye, right? It's just yay. So, I don't even know what. I guess both his ex-wife and Ye have some amazing ability to get attention, but it's not always great attention. Nice. Oh yeah, great. Oh, thanks, Abyss. Yeah, the Mutant Chronicle stuff. Yeah, I wanted to do something else. I haven't done Mutant Chronicle stuff in a while. I mean, that was my lockdown. This thing that saved my sanity during lockdown is doing a deep dive into the Mutant Chronicles lore. So I wanted to get back and do something, especially around the holidays. And I think I'll release some of the Crenshaw. I think there's 3 Crenshaw stories. I think I'll put those together. And those were for members and patrons only previously. So I'll do a very Crenshaw Christmas coming up. So there'll be some more stuff to listen to. So those short stories that are the fiction from the rule books, I went through and sweetened them with sound effects and things. So those are a little bit more like radio dramas. What I'm doing is more just like an audiobook for the Advent, the dark Advent calendar. I'm just reading the book so you can get an idea of the story. And there's enough in there, even if it's not a great story. There's enough fun Mutant Chronicles details and stuff in there that. And this was done, during the height, when Target Games was really pushing the IP. So yeah, there's 3 of those books, and they've all got all around 30 chapters. So lots to do. Nice. Yeah, the Alien. So this Abyss is saying the Alien IP is awesome when it handles how it handles the game as well. I learned last week that from Mandalore's clip on Alien Isolation, that they handed everything over for it. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, nice. Even the stuff that didn't make the movies. Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's really that's nice that they're. They haven't done great with further films to support that world, and I think we're still supposedly. I don't know if it's in pre-production hell or not, but Ridley Scott was talking about one more Alien film that's going to specifically focus on the android. Whatever, his David or whatever. That got a little creepy in Covenant. little too much flute playing for my taste in God damn. But so I guess there's one more thing he wants to explore, and that this film will go into artificial life or whatever, if it actually happens. I mean, there's so much business and timing that has to happen, and Ridley Scott's in his 80s, right? So I don't know if he's got another Alien film in him, but we'll see. Oh, and that's right. And they're also that'll be a real test too. There is a television series, maybe a streaming series or something, that's supposed to be based in Alien. God, we've heard so much. I think with the numbers and economy and everything cooling down, I think all of these projects that we've heard that are being shopped around or in pre-production may just disappear, because supposedly we've got a Judge Dredd that's not going to have Judge Dredd in it, a Judge Dredd series, an Alien series. There was something else that they keep talking. Oh, the Inquisitor, the Eisenhorn series. So there's a lot of stuff that's supposedly being shopped around, but daijoubu desu. Okay, so hold on a second. I'll be right back. Sorry, be right back. So I think we're going to have to call this one a little early. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so they're doing recertification for the fire systems in the building. Only this kind of premium content can you get if you're a patron or a member on YouTube. Yeah, so sorry. They're going to be doing some really loud fire alarms and things running, so I don't think you guys want to hear that. Oh, but thanks, a subscriber for the channel. Let me see if this works. Hey, Lucas Dierkoff, thank you so much for subscribing. So they've come to collect us, so they're getting rid. Yeah, we've been talking too much smack on Hasbro, so they're getting rid of us. Man, but yeah, sorry about that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll do this again next week, and hopefully it won't coincide with any fire alarms. Oh man. Okay, so thank you so much, and we'll see you again, and keep an eye out tonight for the next part of the Dark Advent calendar. We're reading In Lunacy, the first book. So yeah, Abyss, thank you for watching, and see everybody later. So take care and goodbye.